Hi guys, so I'm back to do another update today, and please excuse how hideous I look. It's been one of those days where I have been crying most of the day. I've cried all my makeup off and just generally look hideous, but I was contemplating not making this video, but I thought that I would, because I thought that it was only fair to show both sides to the story. You know, it's all very well me coming up on YouTube making videos when I'm in a good mood and when things are calmer. But yeah, so today is a really, really bad day for me. I am 39 weeks and 5 days pregnant today. So the day after tomorrow I'll be full term. Well, I'm already considered full term at 37 weeks, but I'll be 40 weeks, 10 months pregnant. And I don't really know what to say, really. I mean, I'm really surprised that I'm still pregnant, because I've been in slow labour now for probably about a week. Since the last vlog, I mean, I've been having contractions for months anyway, like Braxton Hicks, and I've mentioned before that I have what's called an irritable uterus, which means that Braxton Hicks irritate my uterus into contracting. So, you know, a normal Braxton Hicks will turn into, like, you know, a semi-proper labour contraction. But, you know, they're not incredibly painful or anything like that, but they're definitely not just a Braxton Hicks contraction, if that makes any sense. Anyway, but for the last week, I've been having like constant contractions, and I mean regular. They'll start 15 minutes apart, then they'll get down to 5 minutes apart, 4 minutes apart, back to 5 minutes apart, and it will carry on like this, and it will carry on like it for hours. I mean, like all night long. Can't sleep, because my body thinks I'm in labour. I mean, to the point where, you know, I'm losing my mucus plug. I'm only small amounts of it, but, you know, it's obviously irritating my cervix enough that I'm losing some of my mucus plug, and, you know, emptying out, and all the things that, wonderful things that your bodies do to you when you go into labour. I haven't had a bloody show yet. My waters haven't gone yet, which I'm very surprised at, because my waters tend to go very, very early. But yeah, so I haven't contacted my hospital or my doctors. I haven't contacted anyone, and I know that a lot of people, a lot of women would have like rushed to hospital by now thinking they were in labour. But I know what my body's like. I know the way my body works. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this still. I know how my body works, and I know that I'm not about to have a baby anytime soon, and yet my body is thinking I am. And so it's difficult, because you have all the emotions that you go through when you go into labour. You have the nesting, you have the emotional you know, outbreak, you have the excitement and the joy, but you also have the heartache and disappointment when nothing happens. And, you know, those emotions, you know, I can cope with them, because I'm quite good at handling my emotions. But when it's going on like constantly for days or a week, or, you know, and you're not getting any sleep, you know, you just start feeling really sorry for yourself, and it gets difficult. But today has been a really bad day, because I literally got no sleep last night. I mean, I think altogether I've probably got about an hour, but not in one stretch. And, you know, it's just really hard, because, you know, as you guys know, I have 4 children. A 12-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old. Well, he's nearly 3. He's going to be 3 next month. And I'm still breastfeeding Danny. He still nurses quite regularly. And my 4-year-old, you know, I'm really quite surprised that she's still asking to nurse at this point, because she'll go days or weeks without it, and then like out of the blue she'll ask if she can nurse, and I'll restrict her to like, it'll have to be an extreme situation for me to nurse her. Like, she'll have to have hurt herself really badly, not just be crying or upset and need comforting, but like, you know, she's cut her finger wide open and has to go A&E for a little butterfly stitch, you know, something like really extreme. Or if she's really poorly, I mean, like if she had a stomach bug, I wouldn't withhold breast milk from a baby or a child that had a stomach bug, because obviously they're not going to be able to eat. There are age limits on the medications the doctors can give to help with replacing the children's electrolytes and salts and stuff. So, for example, Diarrhea, my daughter, she won't take Diarrhea. So all the things that you would find in these kind of products, you know, you find readily available in breast milk. So in situations like that, you know, I would, you know, no problem, breastfeed her. And I know that sounds shocking to a lot of people that she's 4, you know, and that she's still being breastfed, but you know, I'm surprised myself. And I'm a very normal person. I'm not a weird person. I'm not an extreme person. I'm not a hippie. I'm not a, you know, one of those mothers that takes things over the top, you know. I'm not one of these, I cloth diaper, I breastfeed, and I do all these natural things. I don't cook, you know, my baby roast dinners from scratch when they're first starting to wean. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those kind of people. I'm just a very normal mum, and you know, so if I am comfortable to nurse my 4-year-old on an occasion, then you know, I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. But as far as emotions go, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm going insane. I literally feel like I'm losing it. I'm losing the plot. I mean, I don't know. And I've tried every kind of natural induction method, not to, because I'm already having all the contractions, to just make the contractions take it to the next level, you know, which will be, I go into labour, and I'm having a contraction right now. And I've been on here for 7 minutes, 43 seconds. So, yeah, hard to think when you're having a contraction. Hard to talk when you're having a contraction. But, yeah, so, like, it's been 7-8 minutes and I'm having a contraction already. So that shows you how regularly they're coming. And, yeah, it's just difficult. Because if you've had a baby, or if you've given birth, you know that when it gets to this point in the pregnancy, you're very much kind of symptom spotting, and if you're having contractions, you're very aware of them. You're kind of looking at the clock, timing them, you know, and you do think, oh, if it's painful and they're regular, this is the real McCoy, you know. And you know, when you find out it isn't, you know, it's very difficult. So when it carries on for days, weeks, it's difficult, and I've taken my kids out to the park because they need to just let off some steam, and I feel like I was getting a little bit impatient with them. Not that they would be able to tell, thank God, but I could feel that I was getting irritated by them, by the noise, by the fighting, you know, the squabbling that kids do. And I don't want to feel that way, that I don't want to feel negative about my children. So I'm letting them outside because at my home we haven't really got, you know, we've got a small, tiny little bungalow. Well, not tiny, it's a big bungalow, but, you know, there's only 3 bedrooms, and there's no front garden really, because there's a very low wall just in front of it, and it's a very small area. So it's like more like for just some pretty flowers, that kind of thing. And the backyard obviously is where we park our car. It's like a carport more than anything else, and there's not really much room for anything else apart from our car. And we don't have a shed, so we have to store a few things out there as well. So there's not really an area, and there's no park on our estate. There's no fields nearby. There's nowhere for the kids to go out and run around. So I take them out to the park, you know, and places like that. And I got them all ready in the car and it started to rain, and I was just like, oh, please, please don't rain. But it was just spitting a little bit, and so they're happily playing now. And, you know, they've been such good kids, so I have got them a little sweet each. They got one of those lollipops that's like called a tongue painter, and it paints their tongue a funny colour. So I got some of them, they're like a 10p. And I got them those, it's like a little candy bracelet, and you can eat it, and it's got little, you know, candies on them, and they were like 15p each. So, like, you know, stuff like that I don't normally give them, but like, they're at the park so they can burn off some of that sugar and it just makes it more fun for them, because the weather's not particularly brilliant. They've got all their coats and scarves on, they're nice and warm, but, you know, it's not like a nice hot sunny day. It's getting on, it's not, you know, early either, so they've been indoors doing homework and stuff today. So yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to do this little update to have a little bit of a moan and a rant and to tell you how I'm feeling. And I'm sorry that this is you know, I like to come on when I'm feeling really confident and I feel like I look nice or nice-ish, or when I've hidden. Yeah, not so much when I think I look nice, when I've managed to hide the things I don't want to be seen. Like, for instance, my roots are coming through, and look how dark they are. When I'm pregnant, my roots are like black. This is like dark coloured. This is like dark coloured hair, you know, and my hair is not this dark. It's like an ashy blonde, but it's coming up really, really dark. Anyway, and just generally, makeup's all smudged and rubbed off, and yeah, my nose is all congested because I've been crying so hard, because I did have a little bit, when we got here and the kids went to play, I had a little bit of a, you know, cry to myself, and it was more like a big cry actually, if I'm honest. It was a big cry. And now what I'm going to do, what I just bought from the shop, which is so disgusting, is this thing. It's called like a potato dog, but this is like the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. It's a long, thin thing that looks like a really long sausage, but it has like hash brown potato around it, and inside it's not a sausage, it's chili and cheese mush. I don't know what it is, but it sounds absolutely disgusting. But I heard the word chili and I thought, I haven't eaten very much today because I've just been having so many contractions and feeling so sick. So I thought, you know, it might blow my head off and be really hot and might kickstart something, you never know. Anyway, I tend to get to this point, you know, just before I have a baby. So I'm hoping that this is a good sign. Yeah, so I apologise for looking this hideous and for being so miserable, and it sounds like I'm really attention seeking and trying to be all like, oh, poor old me, and that's not my intention. My intention is just to be honest and just share the truth with you guys, because I think it doesn't help anyone, it doesn't help any other mothers out there that are going through the same thing, to see another mother come on that life is perfect, because that doesn't help anyone. It just makes them feel worse, and I don't want to make people feel worse. I prefer to encourage and inspire and make people feel better, and I know that looking like crap doesn't actually do that, it doesn't achieve that, but you know, I just want other mums to know that if you're feeling this way, it is completely natural, and you've got every reason to feel this way. I mean, I've got SPD on top of the contractions, and I can barely walk. I mean, just trying to get in and out of my minibus is a nightmare. My kids are in hysterics watching me trying to climb in and out, and I've had people ask me if I need a hand up, and it's humiliating, you know. I can't get out of the bed properly. It takes me about 10 minutes to turn the alarm clock off in the mornings because I just can't get out of the bed. I'm like rolling around like a whale that's stuck on its back. You know, it's not attractive. But anyway, I was going to do another video in a minute, but I just wanted to come on and share my misery with you first, and then I'll give you an update about some other things that have been going on in my life. Anyway guys, I will speak to you soon. See you later. Bye.